Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony. I wanted to talk with you all about why solitude is so beautiful. As you can see, the title of this video, as well as my first slide, I wanted to share with you some things that I enjoy about solitude and just really focusing on self-care practices. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First of all, I want to say one of the things that I've made on my to-do list, Sundays, I kind of use Sundays as my power day. I go grocery shopping on Sundays. I typically get a workout in on Sundays. So whenever you see this like black t-shirt, this is like my workout shirt. So I did work out today. And don't sleep on some things that sound very plain or bland. They can be really impactful. Like I made a to-do list today and I just wrote it down. I didn't type it under the notes in my phone this time. And I had 7 things on my to-do list. Go live regarding Monique Samuel's quitting Love and Rich DC, make my overnight oats for breakfast, take the trash out, pickup day is on Mondays, exercise, make a green smoothie, go grocery shopping, and meal prep. I'm vegetarian. I don't eat meat. I work from home and I take really short lunches, just 30 minutes. So it's important that I meal prep, and I do that typically on Sundays. And then by hump day, the middle of the week, then I meal prep for the rest of the work week. So I made some rice and veggies, some rice and sweet peas to have for lunch this week. But I just wanted to show that I did meet all 7 things on my to-do list. It just helps me to write things down so I don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, oh, let me take the trash out. And I have to put my coat and my hat because now it's rainy and cold outside. When I know that I have to do it, I didn't forget. I could knock it out, before it gets dark outside. And I went grocery shopping. I had my list in my phone. I took care of that. And when you cross off things on your to-do list, you feel so productive, you're so proud of yourself, and it energizes you to want to get to the other things on the to-do list. Probably besides grocery shopping, what was the most time consuming was exercising. I did some YouTube workouts. I worked out for an hour straight. So I love Leslie Sanson's Walk Away the Pounds. You can type in her name, Leslie Sanson, or Walk Away the Pounds, or you could type in 1 mile walk, 2 mile walk, or 3 mile walk here on YouTube and find some free workouts. So I did a 2 mile workout plus two 1 mile workouts. So that was like 60 minutes of exercising. It felt great. I did manage to work out 3 times this week. I worked out today, Thanksgiving, and on Tuesday. So I typically work out 3 times a week. Sometimes I will get up to 4 times a week. I'm just being honest. But when it comes to exercise, something is better than nothing. Now, when it comes to relationships, you do not settle when it comes to your friendships or romantic relationships or family relationships. You do not believe in something's better than nothing. But when it comes to exercise and moving your body, something is better than nothing. Okay. So let's get into my slides. Why solitude is so beautiful. Okay, so obviously, for solitude, you are no longer around toxic people. And I want you to not be fearful of the lonely feeling. The lonely feeling will pass. Let that feeling flow. You may feel a little sad. Just make sure that you get out of the bed and do something. Maybe journal about your feelings or say a prayer about feeling lonely. And then, God will give you that strength after you pray to actually be productive. There's always housework, whether it's cleaning the bathroom, doing laundry, shredding, junk mail, or you can connect with people who are positive, who treated you with respect. I'm sure you have some classmates that you have not talked to in a while. One thing that the pandemic taught me is that number one, you can connect with people without being physically close to them. Obviously, we were all on Zoom, right? I wish I bought stock in Zoom prior to 2020, because think of how much more profitable your initial investment in Zoom would have been after the spring of 2020. Then the value of Zoom just skyrocketed, right? But anyway, Zoom taught us that we could connect with people virtually and you could find out what they're up to, how they're doing. You could make each other laugh and you could be caught up with that person and know where they are in life. So I really was able to reconnect with high school and college classmates that I had not talked to in forever. Also, in April of 2020, I started selling bedroom candy. I admire Candy from the singing group Escape and from the Real Housewives of Atlanta because she is such a hard worker and a successful businesswoman. But Bedroom Candy is really a fun company to work with. And I actually do virtual parties. I send out the Zoom link, and that allowed me to reconnect with classmates, old friends, and relatives, cousins, and people from church. Okay. So we would have the bedroom candy parties, and that's super easy, virtual for people to just kick it at home and laugh and, buy some products. That's definitely a part of self care and self love. So definitely do not be fearful of that lonely feeling. Let it flow. It does not last. And just make sure that you are productive and your confidence will increase. If you're not around toxic people who bully you, embarrass you, disrespect you, over time you will become more comfortable, which will lead to you being more self confident because you're not in that dysfunctional environment where you're feeling uncomfortable. And when you're around bullying people who want to point out everything about you that they don't like or that they think is an issue, it can make you insecure and worried about every little thing. You can even overthink because of how they treated you. So solitude can help get rid of all of that. So obviously, you will be more productive and creative. So being in solitude and at home will allow you to focus on things that you've always wanted to do. You can tap into your creative side. For me, obviously, being around certain dominating and bullying relatives and so-called friends, I would have never started a YouTube channel. I would have never started selling bedroom candy. And I definitely would not have locked my hair. Some of the people with very dominating personalities who have been disrespectful towards me, they would have said, "No, Ebony, don't lock your hair. You have long, thick hair. Why you want to do that? Why would you start a YouTube channel? Who's going to watch you? This, that, and the third." Just all sorts of negative feedback. So I am a landlord. I am blessed by God to own two properties. The one that I live in, this house, and I rent a condo. And I have five sisters. They're 12 to 21 years older than me. So a couple of them are old enough to be my moms. And one of my sisters, she's 14 years older than me. So with my first tenant was horrible. And, she had to move and I had to spend some money, getting the place cleaned up and ready for the next tenant. And my sister Kim said, Ebony, maybe you should just sell the condo. Maybe you shouldn't rent it out since, you have to, she was making it more so like I was doing something wrong, regardless of how the former tenant was driving her neighbors crazy and how she left my property. My sister was trying to make me insecure, like I could not be a great landlord. But I did not listen to her. I did pray to God about it, and He blessed me with a tenant whom I've had now for 4.5 years, and it's been great. Thank you, God. So I say that to say sometimes negative people, you have to distance yourself from them to actually do things that are meant to be. As long as they are in your face, in your life, in your presence, and they're always giving you negative feedback and always not even feedback, but they're just being negative, trying to control you, you'll never do the things that you would really love to do. And solitude gives you that blessing of being able to create and work on the things that you would love to do. Also, self care is not cliche, but it is oh so powerful. So, solitude allows you to actually carry out some forms of self-care. Don't sleep on journaling, saying affirmations, and certainly don't sleep on therapy. I admit that I have been to therapy. I've been in therapy off and on since my late 20s. And my therapist, he realized that I had, low self-esteem, and he taught me about affirmations. And he told me to stand in the mirror and say, I like myself because. And he told me to say at least three of those a day. So I actually found myself saying, I love myself because I am a strong writer. I like myself because I'm great at my job. I like myself because I am compassionate. And then those things evolved as I would go out dancing. It was like, I like myself because I'm a good dancer. Those affirmations really did make a difference. They planted seeds, and I could hear myself out loud saying things that I liked about myself. And it was impactful, especially over time. And I still say affirmations in the morning to this day. So I definitely encourage you to do that. Don't worry about if you feel awkward or weird about it. If you do, that feeling will go away as saying the affirmations in the mirror become a habit for you. Definitely continue to do it. It's a great positive start to your day, and I definitely encourage you to say positive affirmations about yourself. So I have a journal that I have like not only journaled about, but I would write my notes down for TV shows that I'm going to recap for this channel, Show Style and Spirit. But definitely writing is a way to vent. It's just not verbal, but you're writing it down. And I know for me, when I am anxious about something, I actually have so many thoughts in my head. And when I journal about them, it literally feels lighter. It feels like those worried thoughts are out of my head and onto the paper. And when I journal, I go back and read what I wrote, and I realize that the problem most times is very controllable. And then I'll continue to write and I'll say, well, worst case scenario, I'll still be here. I'll still be alive. My needs will still be met. And that's what's really important, right? You want to be able to see something what it is, and then that problem just kind of shrinks. If you're someone who is spiritual and goes to church, you may have heard slogans like, God is bigger than any problem that you may have. And for me, journaling, it helps me to see how small the problem really is. Now, if you have ever read in the Bible, the book of Psalms, King David wrote a lot of the Psalms. And I always felt like King David, in a way, was journaling about the many people who were trying to harm him, trying to take his life. And he was journaling about his problems. And then he would always tend to focus back on God and how God was able to help him with any situation that he found himself in. So for me, the book of Psalms is like King David's journal as well. And so there are also some Instagram pages that I love to follow. I read them daily for wellness reminders. So I want to actually share my screen and show you. So just bear with me one moment, please. So this is Peaceful Barb. Barb is a therapist, I believe. She has a podcast with her daughter, and their other Instagram page is Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life. I read their posts every single day. And some of the things that I've taken from Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life on Instagram is that I am to love, trust, and accept myself, and to be gentle with myself, and to let feelings flow, don't repress them. And whenever a person treats you negatively, it is a reflection on them and not on you. So that was just very life-changing for me. Like, so it's a reflection on them, not on me. And it just makes it that much lighter. Okay, that's on them, whatever. But I wanted to share this with you. This is on Peaceful Barb's Instagram stories. It says, trauma makes you think your self-worth depends on how others treat you. Healing makes you realize you are not how they treat you. They are how they treat you. And you didn't lose them because of your boundaries. They lost you because of their repeated disrespect. And that is another word that I do not want you to think is cliche, and that is boundaries. Boundaries are so important and so crucial to your self-love and self-care and peace of mind. You know, I don't want you all to think that you ever have to share space with people who disrespect you just because they are your family relatives. It is true to treat others the way that you want to be treated in return. In the Bible, it's known as the golden rule. Jesus said to do to others as you would have them do unto you. So if people don't want to get cursed out or publicly embarrassed or constantly criticized and bullied and dared for anyone to speak back up to them, they shouldn't treat people that way either. And I don't want you to feel like you have to be physically around people on the holidays who disrespect you because you don't want to spend the holidays alone or you think that that's lame. What's lame is to constantly betray yourself by letting people disrespect you. And also, life is not about being constantly combative with those people who disrespect you. I used to think to myself, well, like if I'm always around my family and they're always all of them, all five of them together, and now some nieces and nephews because they're young adults. If they're going to all be disrespecting me, for me to speak up for myself, I'm going to be arguing with them at every family dinner, every holiday. And that's just not normal to always be combative with so-called people who're supposed to love you. So I just made the decision that I would not be around people who bully me anymore. And I feel so much more comfortable, so much more at peace. And it's just been a load off of my shoulders. And so I don't want anyone else to think that they have to put up with bullshit because those are your family relatives. Family can be your close friends who treat you with respect. Family is yourself. And so again, this is Peaceful Barb on Instagram, and her other page is Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life. There's also a YouTube page, Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life. Barb doesn't post there often, but there is a meditation that she created back in 2020 from all of the turmoil that we all experience, and I found it to be wonderful. So I definitely encourage you to check out her meditation as well. So that is all for my slides. I really wanted to come on here and make this video. Hey, Sebastian, because it is Sunday night. I have had jobs where, where I was a loan officer. I worked 60 to 70 hours a week. Realtors and people who were ready to place offers on home would call me and text me all day, all night. And so I know what it's like to be anxious on Sunday nights for the Monday morning. And Sundays is my power day where I go grocery shopping and I work out and I meal prep. So I definitely wanted to make this video just to encourage you that you're definitely not alone in your feelings and to let them flow. So Sebastian, I will send you the link and then you can hang out backstage with me so that we can talk. So I want to post the link here. And definitely, if you are watching this video, please share it with anyone whom you feel could benefit from this. And please hit the like button so that YouTube will recommend it to other people, and then they can be blessed with this information as well. And of course, I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I wanted to make sure that I gave out this information. Definitely, if you are feeling some type of way, please reach out to a professional. If you have a working job, there is the Employee Assistance Program, EAP, and that will allow you some free therapy sessions as well. So thank you for checking out this video. I hope that you're taking great care of yourself. Bye-bye.